Welcome everyone to our weekly special education training where I'm going to hit up hot topics that are happening right now. So today I have a question that was submitted by a Special Education Inner Circle VIP member. When you become a VIP member of the Special Education Inner Circle, you get to ask questions. You're 100% guaranteed to get your answer. And sometimes I share those answers out in front here with everyone because it's important for everyone to understand what's happening right now inside of our special education community. So our question this week was, is the IEP supposed to be written as though hybrid learning wasn't happening and the implementation plan takes hybrid learning into consideration? So what's happening to this member of the Inner Circle is that the IEP that her child was supposed to be getting or should have gotten if COVID wasn't happening, if the pandemic wasn't happening, what happened is they adjusted all the paperwork. So now the IEP only looks like COVID world. It only looks like hybrid learning world. It only looks like this modified version. In fact, she's lost the consistency of what was happening year after year after year. And it's almost like the old version of the IEP is like gone, and now there's this new version, and that is not how it's supposed to be. It is absolutely not how it's supposed to be. What should have happened and what should happen for everyone here is that we continue to write IEPs that are appropriate, that meet a child's unique needs, that are focused on preparing a child for further education, employment, and independent living. That's the purpose of Ideal Law. It's in the purpose and findings. Remember, I'm not a lawyer. I just tell you where to look. I've been doing this for 25 years. I'm a former special education teacher. I'm a special needs sibling for the last 20 years. I've been working for you, parents, teachers, admins, therapists, helping you build IEPs that work in the real world. And this is a great real world question of, now, what's going on? Like, why did we change the entire IEP because of something temporary that is happening in our world? It shouldn't have been changed to that extent. Now, many districts did put in a distance learning plan or a hybrid learning plan or kind of an addendum that said, due to the current circumstances, this is how the IEP will be implemented, or these are the parts of the IEP that are going to be focused on during hybrid learning or virtual learning. But the entire foundational document that meets that criteria of an appropriate education to meet a child's unique needs, to prepare them for further education, employment, and independent living, that entire foundational document should stay intact, should remain intact as we move forward. We should continue to be monitoring progress, having clear levels of present levels of performance, having clear IEP goals that are working towards meeting that overall picture of what we're trying to achieve. We need to have all the accommodations and modifications implemented to the best of our ability during all of this, modification that's happening. Now, many districts did make this assumption that they just needed to change the whole IEP because they couldn't meet the needs of the IEP. And quite honestly, they didn't want to get in trouble. So they changed the entire document. And now that everybody's starting to go back to school full time, they have to go back to the IEP table and change everything. I just want to remind you that an IEP meeting is not necessary at all times, meaning that we can make a lot of changes inside of an IEP when all parties agree, when the whole team agrees on what needs to happen next. It really can become a paperwork shuffle to make sure an IEP gets back on track. In fact, you can get more results faster when you learn how to really execute that strategy of not waiting for an IEP meeting to get things done. You can make that go faster. I'd love to help you do that inside of the Inner Circle. You get an entire library of online trainings, guest experts, Q&A, a lot of support for whatever your role is at the IEP table. The Special Education Inner Circle is made for parents, teachers, admins, therapists, and it's where I can help you through these struggle points that we've had, help you through these different things that are confusing, because what's happening in California may not be happening in New York, and we need to negotiate, what is in the best interest under the resources that we have, under the strategies that we've been told that we have to use by the district. There are ways to still get great results, even though we are in a not so great place in our education system due to everything that has happened. So is the IEP supposed to be written for this pandemic and then written again once we get back. It shouldn't have been. Some were. It's absolutely a fixable situation. We have a history of the documents. We have the history of where we should be going. We need to get some updated present levels of performance. We need to see some concrete data. Remember, we can only make decisions as smart as our data is, meaning like we cannot just guess. Facts, the feelings are not facts. We can't just make assumptions. We need to have really good concrete data so we can make smart decisions. Maybe it's not the preferred data, meaning that we've had to make some adjustments in how we're collecting data because of everything that's happened, but it's still data. It's still information that we need to have. So I want to encourage you that if you are in the situation, whether you are a staff member who has been told to rewrite IEPs and you're stuck in this situation, or you're a parent who's had their child's IEP completely adjusted in a way that you don't know how you're going to come back from this, you're not sure how to get things back on track, you're not sure how to get back to the full document and making sure everything is getting implemented, I'm going to encourage you to first go grab a free IEP checklist. That's over at IEPchecklist.com. Come on, guys. So easy to remember, right? Go over to IEPchecklist.com. Go grab your free checklist. You'll get 12 checkpoints to help you prep for your next IEP meeting. And that's not just for the IEP meeting. When you're prepping for an IEP meeting, that's actually a year-round thing. There's 12 questions that you absolutely need to know the answer to. And then you're going to have other questions, just like this mama who wanted to know, like, hey, are they doing this right? And it's like, no, it doesn't look like it was done right, but you know what? It's fixable. We can do this. Let me show you some solutions. So go grab your checklist over at IEPchecklist.com, and then you'll get the information on how we can connect further. And I hope to see you inside the Special Education